battle, but they just won't win the war, 'cause I am one man against the world.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Glenn Lal Show right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. My name is Joshua, and of course, I'm happy to be your moderator this evening. I'm joined by the man of the moment, Mr. Glenn Lal, and of course, he will make his presentation this evening, after which we'll take your questions and, of course, take your calls. You can message us or you can call us on 226-7453, or you can WhatsApp us on 622-2222. You can also call us there. Mr. Lal, over to you. Happy to see that you have a real kerchief in your suit this evening. Over to you.
Joshua, my name is Glenn Lal, and I always try to dress neat, tidy, and nice. Don't do me that. I have the official apparatus that came with the suit, all right?
No more tissue.
Okay. Joshua, Guyana, and the world at large, Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, my dear, for gracing our program this evening. Yes, Uncle and Auntie, the UK is building 3,641 miles of cable to bring solar and wind power from Africa to England. And our gurus here is setting up a gas power plant with 120 miles of pipes in the ocean to give us fossil fuel project for electricity. On top of that fossil fuel project, they are setting up a hydro project with an unknown amount of cable to bring the electricity from the hydro falls to Sophia Power Station. Wow, that England to Africa story can be read in tomorrow's Kaieteur News. So get a glimpse of it and read the full story. Joshua, a person's most valuable asset is not a brain loaded with knowledge, but a heart full of love, with an ear open to listening and an eye to seeing, and a hand willing to give help. But did I say Namaste?
Yes, you did.
I'm getting so, you know.
You did.
I want to repeat that word Namaste. It's the divinity in me I extend to you. The peace, the love, the joy in me, I extend to you. And when you say Namaste back, you return the same to me.
What fellow human turn on?
Exactly. I have not spoken a word about this COVID pandemic since I began this program almost a year now. And the reason for that, Uncle, is because I believe this pandemic is the Creator's business. He's sending a message to all of us, particularly to our leaders of this world, to show them that He is in control of every action and reaction, and not any one of them or any one of us. And He will determine the way forward for all of us. Josh, from the beginning of this pandemic, I have been hesitant to take the vaccine. But yesterday, something inspired me, and I know where that came from, to go and get the vaccine, which I did. I want to encourage all of you who haven't taken the vaccine to get out there and take it. It is getting more and more serious, and we are losing too many of our brothers and sisters in this world to this virus called COVID-19. So please, Auntie and Uncle, yeah, get out there and take it. So tonight, let me get going with our usual program. There's a saying, when people fear government, there is tyranny and dictators rise up. When the government fears the people, there is liberty, there is freedom, freedom to speak. And I am one of them who have overcome fear. Hence I speak every Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. One of the penalties of refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by thieves, dishonest people and morons. And there's an old saying in journalism, follow the money. Whether it's a political scandal or a stock market swindle, follow the money trail and you will find it. You don't have to fight against wicked people. Their own plotting, scheming and lies will bring them down. Like I said, the eyes are useless when the mind is blind. And the leaders think we are blind because they are now selling our oil behind our backs. So you can't see. You can't know. Our couple barrels of oil is selling and we don't know how that is being done. It's being done behind our backs in secret. And who is in charge? Manai? The leaders. Uncle and auntie. Every shipload we get should have gone on the open market through auction or put for tendering, where the highest bidder gets it. All we hear from our vice president, India get the last boatload and we collect 79 million US for it. That would have been $79 per barrel. We don't know how the Vice President Jagdeo arrived at that price. All you hear is 79 million. When we allow the Vice President to carry out transaction in this way, you know what will happen, Uncle? Or what can happen? Jiggery-puggery goes on. Let me explain. Oil price is like gold price. It goes up and it goes down every day. Today it can be $60, tomorrow $65, next week it can be $80, and in the next 2 days it can drop to $55. If at the time you receive your portion and it is not put in the open market to international bidders, then Vice President Jagdeo can sell for 79 when the price is $86 or $90. Uncle, if you get $7 or $11 per barrel, do the maths and see what Guyana has lost. We sell a shipload of 1 million barrels and you get $7 hunch. Who will feel it? Whose pocket? Our pockets. Yeah, so we have to be careful, extremely careful, and watch these people, how they are selling the little crumbs we are getting. I wanted to ask Jagdeo, who is he dealing with? How did he come up with this number? This $79 number. Guys, $7 US. $7 US. You get hit, from your bank account, it gone into somebody's bank account. If you get knocked $11 per barrel, it's $11 the treasury losing out. That is how Guyana can be shafted when you don't sell the oil in a transparent, a clean and clear process using the open tender for us to see. This same selling of our oil has many more ways that we can be robbed blindly. But let us stick with this one alone for now and ask the question, why the government is not selling our oil in a clean and transparent manner? Can somebody answer that question for me? Please make a note and you can text or call me in after. And why the opposition leader is not saying a single word. Just think about that and let's move on a little. Just to let you know, last night the BBC newscast announced $80 they're buying crude for. Many of the pump stations in England as I speak has no gas for sale tag on the gas pumps there. Our crude is the best in the world. It is the lightest, it is the sweetest. That can't be sold for $79 or $80. Now you can think about that and let's move on. You have the best mango and it's $80. Your mango can't be $80. Let's move on. Let me take your ears away from the oil and tell you what is happening in the hinterland of Guyana, especially in Region 7. The World Wildlife Fund organization came here 3 years ago and carried out a study on the effects of mercury, the damage it is doing to the environment and our people living in that region. Mercury is a poison, a deadly chemical being used by the mining companies and the gold miners. This is a liquid the gold people use to capture the gold. A few years ago in 2013, our government had banned the use of it, but the miners are still using it on to this day. And it is causing great harm to everyone that comes across it. Live or dwell around it. Auntie, when mercury gets into the system, into the body, it damages the brain, causing you not to be able to think and act properly. You become partially invalid. It also affects your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, and your nervous system. That's how dangerous mercury is. The People's Report they submitted to the government was very damning and shocking. The group said they tested 99 villagers, ages 15 to 78 years, and found that all of them tested positive with high levels of mercury in their system. The people tested were not the gold miners, but the villagers who live alongside the rivers, the creeks, and different neighborhoods near to the mining camps. River and creek water is their oxygen and livelihood, Auntie. The river and the creek water is their livelihood, Uncle. Guyana have been dealing with that syndrome for donkey years now in a small scale mining. Now the governments, both governments, bring in the international people, the Omai, the Tromai, the Zinjins, the Aurora Gold, and the Bins and the Lins, doing large scale mining. What do you think will happen to Guyana very soon? Bernard? What do you think will happen to the people of this country?
Destruction of the environment. Destruction.
The chemicals they're using, uncle, is being filtered into the rivers, and it will reach the city very soon, where all of us can be and will be affected. So don't think the chemicals they're using to bring up the oil alone is affecting your heart, your lungs, and your digestive system, plus your brain. No. The mercury they're using is 50 times more deadly chemicals. The people say the fish you eat, the water you consume is all contaminated. I'm just giving you guys a heads up as to what to expect. In Africa, the copper, the gold, the diamond mines, ore and manganese, almost all of them who work in the mines made children with disabilities. Yes, uncle, it is true. Just Google what I'm saying and you'll see it. It pops up there in less than a second. The report estimated that the gold mining activities in Region 7 have caused damage to over 5,840 kilometers of rivers and creeks, and also affected an additional 28,000 kilometers of down and upstream homes of the fishes. You know what I mean, uncle? Is that the fish can swim and come till here in Guyana, in Georgetown, in the Essequibo, and in Berbice. And when you consume it, you end up at the GPHC with fever. With fever. Not with lung or heart disease, with fever. Kaieteur News tried to contact a few of the mining companies to get an understanding about the deadly chemicals they're using there. And hear what one Chinese company named Zinjin tell us. We must send the questions before they agree for an interview. You didn't hear me, man, uncle. You hear me? We must send the questions before they agree to an interview. This is the new Chinese company that buy over AGM in 2020 for 238 million American dollars. Walked away with all that cash, while we government begging IMF and the World Bank for 200 million US loan to build the harbor bridge. I have talked a lot about that, let me don't harp on it. Them sell our land, collect the money, and your children starving. What a way to do business, uncle. Mm-hmm. My reporter sent the questions to them. You hear me, Josh? And in return, they said some of the information we wanted is confidential. Maybe they learned the word from the Vice President Jack Deo and Winston Brassington and Ashley Singh. What is confidential? What is confidential when you ask the company how much incentives they received for our goal from our government. What is your production? What is Guyana getting? You and me land, and we can ask those simple questions, man. You guys came here with fancy proposals and promises to this nation. How you will do this and you will do that for the Guyanese people. And now you can't answer or tell us simple questions about your operations.
Yeah.
Wait, Guyana. What the hell these people doing in this country? Auntie? Hear this one, Josh. They are full speed ahead, digging out our gold with heavy equipment and machineries. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Every day. With over 900 employees in the back dam. And their website is saying that their company is still under construction in Guyana. You hear me, bro? Mm-hmm. And we leaders monitoring their activities through their website. Wait, are we a set of morons, guys?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, we are.
Is this what the ministry, the minister, the GGMC, and other officials want us to believe? Remember, Bernard, the eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
Definitely.
The things going on in this land with these foreigners that our leaders allowing them to do sometimes make me want to cry for your hungry children. It's so sad, very sad. We carried 2 stories last week on this company, and Ashni Singh, one of Guyana's financial guru, been in the back dam to see what was going on after the Kaieteur News carried those 2 stories. Uncle and auntie, you got to hear what his guru said to this nation after that visit. The Chinese must he sell him a dream or a sad story how they're not doing well because the COVID and the floods. Oh boy, Ashni Singh said, it is important for the Chinese to maintain the investment schedule. The schedule they set to begin the gold operation to achieve their production target. And then he went on to say how they must comply and maintain safety. Ashni, I think you guys need help. He said, Uncle, the gold sector continues to play a very important role in the local economy, and how is a leading foreign exchange earner. I think you guys need to go take some business class somewhere, or get out of leadership of our resources, our bread and butter. Mr. Ashni Singh, you went in there. You saw the operation is ongoing. You should have been telling us the production, the people giving, and what Guyana is getting. Don't come tell us about the people working towards their schedule. What about our schedule? Or that drama you selling us? Not even a prep 8 kid, Ashni, but by these things coming out you guys' mouth. Those people in there over a year now have over 900 employees, and you telling this nation them still to meet targets? What targets? Their targets? What about our targets? Or we don't have? Gold. Gold. Yes. Maybe gold is the largest foreign exchange to Guyana. But from whose gold? Certainly not Zinjin, Mr. Singh.
Definitely.
With the figures them giving to Guyana. Not from them.
That's a local miners.
No foreign exchange coming through them.
That's a local miners.
Them little $1,000 we are getting in the bank is not coming from the foreign companies. It's coming from the ordinary local people who are doing mining in this country
We're not getting duty free.
and who not getting duty free or incentives or concessions. The foreigners are fetching it out by the billions and nothing is coming back here. The Chinese, you've been in there, man. The Chinese got big mills with huge equipment working every single day, making tons of gold for themselves, and you buying that crap. Them telling you? You have an idea how much to maintain 900 employees in there, Mr. Ashley Singh? Which company gonna pump money paying salaries for over 900 people and not making their target or making money? You know anybody who does work at a loss, Mr. Singh? Guyana, auntie and uncle, y'all really need help in this land. I am preaching this thing every goddamn Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. These people are eating up your back dam with all our resources, and you hear just now the words that coming out of these people's mouth, your leaders' mouth. Man, sometimes I want to throw up when I hear them speak. And this has been going on from one government after another. It's a cycle of morons. Y'all recycling in this country for politicians. It's a cycle with one mentality, looking out for themselves, while you in your bed dreaming, hoping, moping and praying to the Creator for bread to feed your children.
Yep.
Before this program, we just walked in the radio station and heard a gentleman from Zambia. He said it loud and clear. Prayers ain't gonna put food on your table. Sound decision making on your resources is what gonna put not only food on your table but give you a great life.
So true.
My reporter left dumbfounded when he witnessed Mr. Ashley Singh, that the chairman of the region could not enter Zinjin company without getting permission. You hear that, bro? Not permission from the Chinese company to enter, but from Georgetown, maybe from you, Mr. Ashley Singh, to go in and just to peruse around the place. Even the young reporter was surprised to know that the chairman of the entire district cannot enter that 3,000-acre rich gold mine lands that belongs to he and all of Guyana. You hear that, Bernard? Mm-hmm. The chairman could not enter that region. He has to get permission from Georgetown, head office, maybe from Ashley Singh or Jagdi or Ali or Mr. Harmon, before he can enter that 3,000-acre land that was given to Zinjin.
Wow.
You understand what's going on here? Mm-hmm. He working with restrictions in his own region. What's going on in this country, uncle? The Chinese company not making money, Ashley Singh. They're not doing well. Yet they have their own plane service and jet boats, their own airstrips and boat landing. I am told that the Chinese own part of the river too, because the locals cannot drive on the side of the landing. They got to drive on the other side of the river. Maybe, just maybe, they renamed the river, and Ashley Singh doesn't even know that. The locals can't even stop or park at the landing, I am told. I'm told they have to go on the opposite side of the river and wait for their clients. And when they finish, the security guard does signal them to come over and pick up their clients in case they get a special hire. When they query why, they were told it's for security purposes. You hear me? That got to be massive. That got to be a massive operation, Josh. With massive gold fines coming up there. And Ashley Singh, the financial guru, telling me the people still working to meet their targets. If me and like them, must got their own jail in there, Bernard. So you better stay clear. ExxonMobil don't take a big chunk of Guyana. Must see half of Guyana. Troy, Omai, the Russians, and now the Chinese taking over the rest. Oh Lord. Let me smile this thing out, man. Where's your share, uncle? Or what is there for your children, auntie? The leaders securing their shares and their children. And grandchildren shares. You hear me clearly? I'm just giving y'all a heads up. A heads up as to what's going on. How can you have your own people, Mr. Singh, Mr. Ali, Mr. Harmon, being restricted, being denied access to a landing and in the water, what everybody has to use to survive, to make a living? Doesn't that tell a story?
Definitely.
Our local brothers was there trying to work on the tail end what the Chinese people dumping, and was blatantly refused by the Chinese company. You hear what I said, Josh? Our people, our brothers, went in there begging them, asking the Chinese company to work the tail ends, what them finish, what them throw away, and blatantly tell them no. The people, our brothers say, how them used to beg the previous owners, and they too kicked them out. Josh, you know what's the tail end? The sand, the stone, the mud that them call the gravel. What the Chinese done take out all the gold from, we Guyanese begging to rework that and were bluntly refused. It's sad, right?
Very sad.
Very, very sad. When these people who begging are the transported owners of those lands and can't get to work the waste what the company throwing away. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Ashley Singh, Mr. Ali and Mr. Harmon? Is this how you are looking out for your own people? My skin, Josh, is growing as I'm speaking here. It's more than a shame. I wish the guys well, though. I wish you guys well. Very well, I mean. And I guess you guys listening would like to wish them well, too. Fetching out we gold, we diamond, we rich minerals in private planes to ogle and disappear, leaving us with pennies. our own people, Joshua, the locals, flying in and out of Ogle, are being strip searched to find a few pennyweights of gold they work for to pay their rightful royalties at GGMC, while the foreigners are being allowed free access in and out of Ogle with no declarations. Wow. The previous Canadian owners, Joshua, AGM, according to them declaration, they declared 70,000 ounces in August last year before they hand over the company to the Chinese. You hear me? Before last year, August, them declared 70,000 ounces of gold. I am told this year, August, the Chinese declared 27,000 ounces. 40-something thousand ounces less than the previous Canadian owners. And guess what, auntie and uncle? Nothing has changed. A matter of fact, them this come in and hire more employees than the previous owners, and yet they're declaring less. 40,000 ounces less. And still have the nerve to blame COVID and weather. What COVID and weather these people talking about, Ashton Singh? You've been in there last week. Winter there down there? Ice falling from the sky? Or flood waters cover the trees and the bushes? Bernard, you understand what's going on here, man?
Exactly.
You blaming weather and COVID? Huh? I wonder if them heavy duty equipment and machinery flood out too, Ashley Singh. You must tell us. Or tell your bosses. Tell Mr. Ali. As for Troy Resources, no, well, sometimes you want to know if these people go in there and come out and tell the leaders the truth. Because you know when you go in there, here's another story. When you come out, you want to act in favor of the company. Because you know what happened? You just come out with brown paper bag. As for Troy Resources, the Australian company, them come to do sophisticated mining since Noah built Billy Ark. How much billions they bring in to invest in the underground mining, Bernard, you know? Them digging out your gold, your diamond years now, with little or no investment, work out all the land, get more land, and yet this massive underground mining ain't start yet. You know what I said? They ain't get up the money to start the operation yet. Yes, Ashley. Don't work out the original land and get more to work on, and they ain't get the underground money yet. You know, Ashley, I think they're right. They're right. Maybe when they finish this huge second set of land, the government give them, maybe, just maybe they will reach the billions they're looking for to begin the original underground mining they come here to do in the first place. This is investment, Ashley Singh, Mr. Irfan Ali, and Mr. Harmon. I can only smile for you guys, uncle. I can only smile. As for oh my, them still setting up too. Like Zinjin, oh my, they ain't still setting up too. Everybody coming here setting up. Going in the back dam, auntie, and see what they're doing. Yes, them setting up for the kill while you there in your bed hoping and praying for a good life. God bless you all. Continue praying. But you must pray for me too. Everybody comes to this country thinks that Guyanese are a set of jackass.
They will have to be thinking so.
Exxon knows they have to flare gas because they cannot re-inject all the gas back into the wells to get a smooth flow of the oil. And they have no donkey to sell it to right now. So the only options they have is to burn it and continue the smooth flow of operation. Every oil expert told us that. So they came up with a monkey excuse after they think we wouldn't understand what they were doing out there and say, oh, the compressor break down and they're sending it back to fix in Germany. It will come back in 6 months. As the flaring continues, the next thing you hear, oh, the compressor just arrived and we would install it. After 2 weeks you hear, oh, it break down again and it has to go back to Germany to rectify. We'll come back in another 6 months. It arrives again and it comes with a manufacturer problem. So we can't do anything. But we'll try sending it back again. Only Germany can fix compressor, Josh.
Germany, the best industrial country in the world.
The Germans would be insulted to hear that.
Of course.
Nobody else can fix compressor. And that has been the monkey story. ExxonMobil has been selling Guyana leaders for the last 3 years as the flaring continues. Only that one piece of equipment is not working out there. Everything else is working. Everything is intact, and oil is pumping at full blast. You hear me, Josh? Exxon and our leaders think we are a set of jackass. The oil will finish, Josh, and those compressors will never fix. Liza 2 will come on stream, and that compressor will break down permanently before it left Germany. Mark my words. Same thing will happen when they begin production in Liza 3, the Payara project. This compressor may never arrive because they may want to tell us they are waiting for new technology. When it comes to the FPSO's cost, Josh, them floating ships, man, you have to hear the technology. The technology them put, or they put on it, trying to convince you and me as to why it is so expensive. Glenlal is waiting patiently, Exxon, and Mr. Jagdev and Ali and Harmon, to get the FPSO costs from Suriname. And all of you will see the monkey business, our leaders agreeing with ExxonMobil to rip this nation off. I want you people to help me, to help understand what is really going on with the leaders of this land. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind and the ears is deaf. The so-called repairs to the airport is swindling our tax money in the millions of US dollars year after year. Just the other day we carried a few stories how they need more US dollars to put more air bridges, more money to fix the car park, money to put in offices, money to put in cargo section. And that would be an ongoing scheme for many years to come, Uncle. This airport should have been done years now. It will bleed your pockets over and over for many years to come. I could have given Guyana 3 brand new sophisticated airport in all 3 the counties a long time ago. But this is your caring government looking out for every one of you. This is how they bleed your treasury. This is how they empty your pockets. This is why you can't get a proper salary. This is why your children have to go to school with empty lunch kits. This is why thieves got to snatch bread bags and umbrellas from your hands. You think all this money them bleeding the country, uncle and auntie, going in the Chinese pockets at the airport? This is how the politicians, all of them operate. This is how they operate with these type of projects. It's just designed to rob your salaries, your food table, and worse than that, uncle, the bandits on the streets with the guns will become more rampant very soon. As for the gas to shore project, that will be the same. The oil and gas will done, and that project will still be bleeding Guyana. As for this one, Exxon said loud and clear they did not approve of the whales for that project. They did not approve whales for that project. They said it will cost more than the estimated cost, and it will take a lot more money from several other fronts. Apart from not having the study done to see if Guyana will be successful or not with it, your government is running ahead, full speed ahead with it, uncle, looking for private investors in secret. Looking for secret investors in secrecy. Guess who will be footing and responsible for the running of the plant, auntie and uncle? GPL. Our money will be spending just like our money is being pulled out for the airport every year. Only that this is not going to take in the millions, but in the billions each year. I am just putting you guys on guard on these matters of great importance. TNT just lose $200 million US on their gas plant project this year alone. And that same ex-TNT minister is advising Jack Dawan Brasington on our project. I did a special program, you guys remember, the other day, and told all of you how that same ex-TNT minister allowed 3 Japanese companies with 1 local company to own 80%. And he gave Trinidad 20% of the project. It was a PPP structured project. But Trinidad is fetching the loan and all the responsibility of the project. It's the same thing happening here. The private people will own the bulk, and GPL, with a little piece, will fetch all the responsibility of the gas project plant and the loans. So you have the airport project, now the Wales gas to shore, and now guess what? They're getting ready to restart the Amelia Falls Hydro project with a PPP style. Public-private partnership in more secrecy. Them done looking for people for coming the project, but it has to be confidential. It has to be a top-class secret between the government and the private people them. I love this country, and I love how these leaders running business of this land. I wonder if me and you could get in these deals, Bernard, to be part of it. Or let's bring in auntie and uncle in it. We can make a lot of money if we get in there, you know, guys. Them put out an ad just last week on the project, seeking persons who would like to invest in the construction of the Hydro Falls project. That's the first thing they said. The second thing they talked about in the project is the power lines project from the falls to Sophia power station. That one might be more than the Hydro Falls project. And the third one is the upgrade, Bernard. The upgrade of 122 kilometer roads. And then to construct an additional 85 kilometer road to the hydro site.
After the 50 million at the Fit Motilal.
My gosh. I don't think for a moment, uncle and auntie, y'all have a clue as to what is going, what they're going to do to this country with these types of arrangements. And the cost attached to it, that Guyana, me and you will have to bear. This is not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a Ponzi scheme anymore. This is beyond a Ponzi scheme, uncle. Over 200 kilometers of roads has to be built in the jungle. And they can't patch the roads in front of your house. This will leave us worse than Africa. It's the same arrangement them have with the Borbis Bridge. That is what they're bringing to us all over again with this Amelia Falls project. Where the private people will build it, own it, run it, and then when it gets old, like an old donkey, where foot broke up and hand can't move, then they're going to throw it to Guyana for take care of the sick and dying jackass. Yes. After they get out the hag of the cash from the project and the thing needs full overhauling, then they will transfer it to Guyana. The old walkout sick donkey GPL will have to put up with. Please take note, uncle. Please listen to me, auntie, of what I'm saying. Keep your eyes open wider than your foot, people. It will be a blessing for your families down the road. The Borbis Bridge, let me remind you guys again quickly. It is working to fill the pockets of the private people and them alone. Despite me and you put the bulk of the money to build that bridge. It was designed that way by Winston Brasington and Barra Jagdeo. Them. The Marriott Hotel is no different. That is also designed in which it is filling the pockets of the secret private investors. Despite me and you put the hag of the money to build that hotel. It's the same Winston Brasington and Vice President Jagdeo them design it. And they design it that way. The gas to shore project and this hydro project is going to be designed the same way. And guess who's designing it? The same Brasington and Jagdeo. All over again. They are not saying a word about finding little money, couple cent, to fix or replace the power lines we have across the country that is losing over 30% of electricity. But I want to run power lines from the Hydro Falls to Sophia. Man, something is wrong with you guys. You guys got to start sussing these things out. When them bring the power to Sophia, let me ask this man, how it going to be distributed? It's not the same 30% we're going to be losing in the lines right across Guyana? Or they're going to fix it when the power comes? Bernard, if they're going to fix it when the power comes, why not fix it now with a few pennies so that everybody's pocket can get an ease as to the bill them is paying now? A matter of fact, the light bill will be cheaper for every one of us if those lines are fixed. But you know why they wouldn't fix it, Auntie and Uncle? That can't be a Ponzi scheme. That is a very straightforward business. GPL workers gonna fix it and fix that overnight. Not private people. Nothing can be hidden there. Allow me to give you, Uncle and Auntie, a little background on that hydro project. What Jagde wanted to throw down our throat years now. He gave a man named Phip Motilal from Miami the license for the project. Despite the man never build, Joshua. Despite the man never build or fix a little bicycle generator. You guys know the little thing that is spin by the wheel of the bicycle to generate light at night. He had no cash on hand to start that project. He turned around and sell the license where he get free from the government of Guyana to an American company called Site Global for millions of US dollars. And all of us know the rest of the story. Phip Motilal walked away with the license money. You want to play the tape for me there? With the license money and more. I just get a piece of tape from our Attorney General. I want to play it for a minute. Play it for me, please.
Never read a single page of those documents. Never. They never understood the project. They still went and voted it down, despite they got all of this, all the paperwork, plenty cartoon boxes, I can't remember how many, but they never read anything. They said that they believe Kaieteur News. Kaieteur News used to be spinning these ridiculous stories, day in, day out. One of the stories said that the falls would dry up and they wouldn't have enough water. A completely ridiculous story. Because the experts have built a dam, and the dam would have contained the water like any other hydro project. As a result, the government chartered several aircrafts and took the opposition, flew them over the falls. We gave them a site visit to the falls. All of them went, about 10 of them went to the various aeroplanes hired by the government. And they went there, they came back, and still they voted on the falls. They were against this man, what the man named, the contractor who got the road, I can't remember his name now, Phip Motilal. They said the contractor Phip Motilal was corrupt. Phip Motilal bid for the contract. Phip Motilal was the lowest.
Phip Motilal bid for the contract and he was the lowest. That was the Attorney General of Guyana, Mr. Anil Nandalal, my namesake. I think he's a lawyer. I think he should stick with law that he knows and fix some of the laws that is outdated in this country, rather than put his mouth into hydro, into business. He seems to have no idea what business is all about. I think what he said there somebody put him up to talk about the hydro project. What he said there, guys, I only received that little footnote an hour ago. I was told that he went on some radio program and talked that. And what he said there, he said during the years in which Jagdeo was trying to bring the hydro project on board, they took the opposition in, they fly them in with plane and show them that what the Kaieteur News was saying, how the falls dries up at every period of the year is not true. And how they have thousands of paperwork in boxes that nobody ever read. How good this project is. You know, Mr. Anil, stick with your law. I want to take ExxonMobil to court because the government, the previous government, gave them tax exemption, unlimited tax exemption, and it is against our constitution, and you know that. I need a lawyer to fight that so the Guyanese people can get their fair share of taxes of every drop of the oil there. You should take that case or come on board. I really want to get some lawyers to fight that and get off this hydro and business sector you were asked to put your mouth into. You don't know what you're saying. Right now, today as I speak, just Google BBC. They just announced that Colorado, the state that depends on water for their survival, has no water. It's drying up. People are lying down in the streets, and police are being called, and the ambulance are being called to sprinkle water on them to revive them. The heat is so much that they're dropping in the streets, Anil. So you don't know about hydro, keep out. Stay out of the business arena. Just stay completely out. You talk about FIP Motilal, get the contract. FIP Motilal get a contract to build the hydro. He got a license. What he did, I just talked about it. He went and hired, he sell his license for how much million US dollar to an American company to come and build the hydro, Anil? Did you get anything out of that money, sell it? Did Guyana get anything out of that? No, Anil. FIP Motilal walk away with every cent he collected for the license only. You talked about FIP Motilal was the lowest bidder for the road. I love that. You're a smart kid. Well, let me teach you, my friend. FIP Motilal walk away with 40-something million US dollar in his pocket for just take a bulldozer and bulldoze some bushes. FIP Motilal maybe or would have been the cheapest bidder for the project. But guess what, Anil? Call the Department of Transportation in the United States where FIP Motilal lived all his life. He has never paved a 2 feet pavement anywhere in the world. And you can call them that, and they have every piece of record. The Department of Transportation in the United States of America will tell you if Glenlal ever put 2 pieces of wood across a trench. It's there because everything comes with a permit, my friend. And I spent days Googling, calling, and trying to see what was FIP Motilal background in construction. And the people were they were pellucid that FIP Motilal never even construct a toilet for he to mess in. While he walk away with the millions, he walk away with millions of US dollar my friend. And while he ran away with that, let me tell you the other part. The vice president for Site Global, the contractor to build the hydro project at the time, me and he end up in the plane. And he was to come and sit with me and chat with me. Instead, he was way down at the back of the plane, walking looking for him, and he was pulling over a blanket to cover his face from me. I have said that on a program before too. Now, you guys reviving that project. So let me ask you, Anil, as you put him out in this, and the government, plus the opposition, a very simple question. How much millions of US Guyana has to pay Site Global or FIP Motilal to get back that license to restart the project? Or Site Global and FIP Motilal going to be the contractor all over again? Just keep that question in mind, and you can give me a call. I need to hear that answer. President Ali, Vice President Jagdeo, Mr. Brasington, Opposition Leader Harmon, and Mr. Granger has never built a toothpick plant, build a packaging plant, a sugarcane factory, a rice factory, a coconut factory, a simple airport with proper toilet facility. Man, you guys ready to speed ahead for build hydro plant and natural gas plant? Guyana, Joshua, auntie and uncle, don't be surprised if you hear they announce Guyana ready to build a factory in space for y'all. I love you, and I love them all. What about you, auntie and uncle? The eyes and the ears are useless when the mind is blind. Let me end by asking you another question. I saw Robert Prasad's brother, Colin Crowell, the Minister of Housing and Water, is now embarking on some huge projects. One, he has announced to rehabilitate the City Hall. And the figure they have announced can build back 3 of that, brand new in the city. Then I see he announced the Eccles Diamond Road project with billions to be spent. Keep your head on, your eyes open, and your ears to the ground. Things are happening. Keep them on the big money projects. And who are the players behind them? Yes. We have exposed last week how a sheet piling project was retendered 4 times because the right people who they want to give the project to didn't win the tender. More to come on these issues. Before I take my leave tonight, Uncle and Auntie, the Gas to Shore project going to cut light bill in half. The government says so. I didn't hear that just now from Anil. The hydro, the Amelia Falls hydro, going to cut the other half. Nobody has said that yet. I just assuming that. So then light bill will not be coming to you at all. Because if one cut half and then you bring this other one, then we wouldn't have light bill to pay.
Exactly.
Huh? No, we would have no thing. None. So, you have nothing to pay. Yes, you will be fetching, let me repeat this, you will be fetching a light bill more than you will ever fetch between your foot. Mark those words with those projects. Thank you so much for listening, and may our Creator bless us all. Good night until we meet again. Friday, same time, same place, and on this same radio station, 99.1 FM. God bless you all.
Thank you, Ms. Lau,
Josh,
for your
take
presentation
over.
this evening. And of course, we really hope that you would have learned something, our listeners and viewers out there. And of course, it's at this time that we will take a few phone calls before we wrap things up this evening. You can call us on 226-7453 and 226-7454. You can also send us a SMS or WhatsApp, or call us on WhatsApp. Also on 622-2222. That's 6 and all the 2s. Very simple number. Those numbers once again, 226-7453 and 226-7454. And if our
Well,
members of the panel here this evening would like to make a contribution, feel free
yes,
to
go
do so.
ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Let's hear you.
We have a caller. Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glen Lounge Show.
Hi, good night, everyone.
Good night, sir.
Hi, Mr. Glenn Lal.
Yes.
I don't want to fetch that light bill between the foot. But this other thing. For years now, I read in the paper, and an article that really interests me is them by them.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuesday is the best, right? The difference between an ordinary thief and a political thief. I would like the entire population of Guyana to do this assessment, to tell me who is civilized and who is the jackass. I would like to know though.
You let.
Because
Go ahead.
I do not want to classify myself as a jackass. Look, like I might have to do that. With that article that I read. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
I read it too, and it was spot on. It was spot on. We are the donkeys. You asked the question there. You wanted to make a contribution.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Glenn. Our leaders think this we are like in Africa in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. You know, when the people don't know what's going on, right? And whatever they do will never see the light of the day. But nowadays with the internet, they're not gonna get by with it. All over the world, fossil fuel projects are on the way out. It's renewable. We in Guyana, everybody knows we in Guyana are 6 feet below sea level. When the sea level rises, who's going to be affected first? We in Guyana are going to be first affected. So why do we want to contribute to global warming? Guyana only needs one power plant, one 250 megawatt power plant Guyana needs. And we could do solar, we could do wind, we could do hydro. That's not going to cost Guyana a cent, the government a cent. Why are we going with this gas to show thing? That's to support ExxonMobil. But another thing, Esso Guyana Limited has been brought in as a party to the lawsuit filed against the government of Guyana by the TAGI. So the guy is TAGI is Guyanese versus the government of Guyana and ExxonMobil. So whose side really Guyana government is on? Everybody could see whose side Guyana government is on. Is Guyana government plus ExxonMobil against the people of Guyana. And how long they can fight the people of Guyana, Glenn?
You know, Bernard, you're talking about whose side they're on. The politicians are not on our side. The politicians are not on your side. You talk about the solar. A gentleman just sent me a picture here showing me Tel Aviv in the night. This is Tel Aviv in the night, fully powered by solar. I begin the program by telling you guys that UK is putting down 4,641 miles of power line from Africa to England to take solar and wind power. Everywhere in the world is renewable. Solar and wind. In France 2 days ago, the fishermen them were protesting because France does not have space. They are using the waterways to set up their solar and the waterways is affecting the fishermen them. So they did a protest. Everything is solar and wind. And our leaders are telling us about gas to shore project. It's not gas to shore project, it's Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
And unless you people start looking them in them eyes and tell them to come clean, clear and in the open as to what they're putting you and your children and grandchildren into, guys, your livelihood is at stake. That type of money they're going to spend there, the money they're going to spend there, and the money that will be spending there could have increased everybody's salary.
Yep.
Policemen didn't have to take bribe. Nobody has to go anywhere and give a bribe or a lunch money to get through with anything. People would have been living. People can live comfortable if things are changed.
Or rob the policeman on the road.
If this modus operandi of these leaders doesn't change, you are in great danger. And I have been speaking every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'm making it very clear. I just play what the Attorney General talked about 8 or 9 years ago, and how easily I counteract him. I want them to counteract what I am saying. I want them to come on the radio station. I want them to call in the radio station. Call me on my phone. I'm here to answer any one of your questions. I went so far to tell them, don't call if you can't answer. Put somebody to call, to ask the stupid questions, or to defend yourself. I will answer to them. Defend yourself. This is not the Attorney General's portfolio or section. So why is he putting his mouth into something that he doesn't know about?
He's talking nonsense.
Hmm?
He's talking nonsense.
And I just told him as a lawyer, he can double check what I said. FIP Motilal has never built anything. I have said FIP Motilal was given an advance on the road project without insurance. You hear me? Without insurance. All that was written, Mr. Anil. Google it and see it. And the advance he got, I think it was 8 million US. He went and buy some scrap iron, some old second-hand used equipment and machinery. When he was bringing it in the Demerara River to go in there, we heard and took some snapshots of it. And when he heard we have a picture of it, the very moment they went and covered it up with tarpaulin, that they want the nation to see what they brought to do this mega project. It's a scheme, Mr. Anil. It's a set of scheme. The politicians of this country is pulling on this nation, and the people are beginning to get sick and tired of it. I am one of them. I am tired of it. Every day I'm seeing schemes and schemes and schemes upon schemes from every section of our community, our society. Come on, man. How much is enough? How much is enough for these politicians?
Our brothers and sisters are starving.
And you got children going to school, Anil? You got children going to school with empty lunch kits. I told you guys, I should probably show you guys the video. I'm going to put the video up after. How they ran one of my helper, one of my cook, walking in the streets Sunday morning. The girls see them on the bike, open M&M gate and go in, run inside. Waited inside there. Peep out and see the road is clear. Came out and walked. And the next thing you know is one speed again, they come back. The girl run through back the gate. One of them jump off the bike and run till into the kitchen of M&M and snatch the girl bag with $2,000 inside. She said she paid $1,500 for the bag. Damaged her foot. She didn't come to work 2 days now. Come on, Anil. Come on. Those guys don't have to do that. if the people of this country get their fair share of what is here, we have enough. We have enough. But on every projects is the government creaming it off. Leaders creaming it off. $780 million. Robert Prasad brother Colin Crowell put out the other day just to refurbish or to renovate the City Hall. Mr. Anil, your good friend Clifton, can build 4 of that. He's a builder. And make a lot of profit to carry for to give you a drink. Or if you give me the job, I can build 3 and carry for buy 3 drink. I'll carry a whole cabinet with the opposition and buy them drinks. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. And I mean it.
Good
Josh?
Glenn, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
My question about corporate social responsibility. Does this government have such a policy? And these mining companies, do they have such a policy for Guyana? Because I know for sure, OMI, a Canadian company, they have to have corporate social responsibility policy.
My dear, that's a beautiful question you asked there. Thank you. Every foreign company comes here or goes anywhere, any part of the world, they have that corporate social responsibility in the oil sector. Iraq, Afghanistan, Nigeria, Uzbekistan, everywhere, Papua New Guinea.
So where's Guyana? The cockroach eat it out?
The company put in their contract, it's a contractual arrangement.
It is.
That they must and have to
Put a percentage
contribute
of their profits to the community. And this is before they create any damage.
Exactly.
So now we have Omai and Taijin and all these companies spilling and creating damage to people's livelihood.
Exactly.
And to our waterways.
And not a single bit of contribution they make towards our thing. I just said there.
This is painful.
That the people who own the land, the people who, yes, it's more than criminal, man. And the law should see that and know that. The people who own the land, I just said it in the program, went there to beg these companies, not for money, not for food, but beg them to work the garbage they throw away. And they are being put out. No. It's a blunt no. Come on. You think they're going to go give those people little food? Huh? You think they'll render any assistance? And that is part of their responsibility.
This reminds me of the Jim Jones project where the people in there and they have all this exclusivity and the people in the community didn't even know they were there or what they're doing until when everything blew up in your face. Why the government allowing them to operate in such a manner?
We need to ask our leaders those questions. Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Well, you calling them leaders. Leaders have a particular quality.
Exactly.
I don't see that in these people that are sitting in parliament. So you have to use another word.
Well, you got to help me find another word for them. I sometimes call them morons, and some people get a little upset with me, but sometimes I can't help it. I try not to, but sometimes I can't help it.
No, because I think it's an aberration to be using the word leader with the kind of behavior that you're seeing. The behavior as
Attitude.
well as their
Attitude.
their vision, right? There cannot be no vision the way they're behaving. Right?
I used to call them bleeders when you weren't here. They're more bleeders than leaders of a country. Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Auntie and uncle, I think it's enough for tonight. Please have a restful and a blissful night. I love you all.
Good
God
night,
bless.
everyone. Bye bye.